Hi, mariners and partners, hop in aboard for Marino World Online. We guarantee enriching MVP or maritime viewpoints. I am your host, Ms. Lynn Bacani of the Marino World Operations. Here with us is Captain EVEN TOMREN, Managing Director, Norwegian Training Center or NTC Manila. Welcome to the program, Captain Joe.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Nice to be here.
Please share with us your maritime viewpoints. First job, how do you tackle the impact of the COVID pandemic? What are the challenges in operations?
Well, it has been a challenge for everybody, and you know, the training centers, they have been taking a real big hit. We have been fortunate to been able to turn around most of our training to be on a digital platform and to be serving our members and customers. And of course, we also have the cadetship program we are serving. So we have actually managed to employ more people during the pandemic. But at the same time, we were forced to close down TESTA as part of the restructuring and government decision to use that area for themselves. So it has been a challenge, but we have also learned a lot during this period, and I think we are in a better position to serve more clients, more customers, and of course our members in the years to come.
Mm-hmm. Are there changes on the way you train your cadets and seafarers?
Yeah, it has been changes. We still want to, the backbone for NTC is always compliance and competence. We never jeopardize on any of them. So we have, of course, we have started to use all the new digital tools. We actually started way before the pandemic, but as you, well, a few of us know, there has been some resistance in kind of implementing new tools, but we are looking into all of the new ones, like, of course, new type of interactive training. We have VR training, we have digital platform lectures and more interactive tools. When we have, for instance, developed new type of CBTs, which we call NELIS, which are more interactive computer-based modules, cloud-based, and yeah. So we have tried to utilize all the new digital tools we have, but still keeping the same backbone as we always have had, the NTC guarantee for quality and compliance.
So those are the new norms. Are there gaps, and what are the priorities?
Oh, there have been a lot of gaps. The cadet program we have, it's based on staying in a dormitory, and we're molding the seafarers to become first-class officers, serving our members' vessels. And of course, in the pandemic, when we have had challenges to move them around, we also had to look into new ways of doing things. But we have been able to have most of the cadets in the dormitories. We have had the challenges of keeping them isolated. And one of the big challenges, unfortunately, we have seen, we saw it before the pandemic, we have seen it during the pandemic, and I think we will see it now after post-pandemic, is the lack of infrastructure when it comes to internet and providing platforms we can use with limited internet. That is the major one. So we have had gaps on that. We are trying to close the gaps, but we are very much welcoming a better infrastructure for internet.
So what do you see as the direction of maritime education and training during the pandemic and after?
We like to emphasize that we are very happy with what we are seeing in the Philippines when it comes to education. It has been a steady improvement, and one of our successes have been to have a program where we can support and work hand in hand with the schools and support our cadets and also the regular cadets with additional training and maybe some qualified inputs. But what we see post-pandemic is that this is going to be a whole new challenge. So we we thought and we believe we have a very good program in 2019 and start 2020. We were actually very satisfied with the results we had. Then the pandemic came and it took it down to a level where we are still very happy. We have extraordinary results on our cadets, but of course they have been at home. Some of them, they have had distance learning, and we haven't been able to have face-to-face. So we see that the new type of maritime training will have to do, will undergo the same revolution as we have had in the maritime training. We need to think completely new. We need to work together with the government. We need to look at what we can do to make it easier, more streamlined, but at the same time, 100% in compliance with rules and regulations, the STCW Convention, of course, but also making sure that the government in the Philippines will be a part of the new normal education.
And what are those new training opportunities and technology which may influence the global shipping to move forward?
Well, we saw it before the pandemic, and there are cloud-based simulators now. They are heavily in use. There are many providers, good providers. We have the VR technology, augmented reality coming in. New ways of doing modular training that the seafarers can be at home. They can train at their own pace, right? So the physical aspect of training will probably be a bit less than we saw before the pandemic. But we also have to understand that some of the training we are doing and some of the norms will still require people to be people and talk to each other physically. So we, even though we welcome the digital training very much, it will make it easier for the seafarers, more cost efficient, beneficial for many purposes. We still believe that after the pandemic, we will have a need to meet physically sometimes. And that is also what we see in supporting research from instance from university in Norway and stuff like that. So we are not giving up on people. After all, people are the most important. Digital tools are helpful, but people are the most important.
Captain Joy, you have an extensive experience in offshore. On offshore business, what opportunities do you perceive?
Oh, we see a change in that. We have the as part of the new normal. We see that the renewable energy, of course, is coming in full force. We are looking into that, and we already have a few things in place. Again, we started this before a few years ago. We started looking into that, and it wasn't so popular because people were looking more into the technology side of that. But when we talk about offshore, we have renewable wind, we have waves, we have solar energy, right? So for instance, in the Philippines, you have the market for everything. We are here to look into that, and we have a few projects ongoing, and we welcome all partners and all of our members and clients to come and talk to us and find ways we can move this forward together. As you very well know, the Norwegian type of approach to this is zero emission on new builds in 2030, right? So we have a way to go to reach that goal, but we are working hard on it every day, and offshore would be a vital part of it. I still think, and I believe that oil and gas will have a huge role to play, moving the new green environment shifting coming to us. But we all know that oil and gas is not going to be here forever. Wind and the sun will be here a bit more longer, right? So if we can use the revenue and the good sides of oil and gas to move the green change into the industry, I think that is the best way we can look at it now.
And I know at NTCM we have a lot of simulators there to support the trainings, like in the offshore training. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do, absolutely. And that is one of the challenges we will have now, is to how can we utilize the simulators to serve the business in the best way, right? When we have so much digitalized training. But we still think we will have the need to train people in new types of energy, fuel saving, emission, and we can use the simulator park we have for that purpose. But we need to change our attitude, and we need to change the perspective on how we do things.
Please update us on NTCM's latest initiatives. What are your latest initiatives at NTCM?
Well, there are so many. I don't know where to start, but we think at least, and we believe we are one of the leading maritime providers, training providers, and we also think that we are ahead of some parts of the industry when it comes to digitalized training. And we have, as I said, we have the new types of computer-based training, cloud-based training. We have the virtual reality, augmented reality. We look into developing our own modules for modular training. We have, of course, the learning management systems. We have interaction with other platforms. So the whole part of this is quite overwhelming for an old dinosaur like me. But we have been able to employ and attach to NTC a lot of the younger, smart Filipinos helping us with developing new technology. So we are trying to do as much as we can in-house, but we are of course interested to cooperate with the whole industry. We have a cluster. We are very lucky to be here in Manila because we have so many different types of representatives from the industry around us, and we want to cooperate with all of them because we see that is the only way we can move this industry forward, and we have to move the industry forward.
How about the gender-friendly NSA Sea Ladies?
Yeah, that is an initiative. We believe in diversity and gender equality, and we are very convinced, and we know that seafaring 2022 is about the smartest brains, not any gender at all. So we would like to make sure that if there's any women in the industry who wants to come in, we want to make it as easy and hassle-free for them without giving them anything for free, like we have with other cadets, right? So it's but we see that there's a need for doing something to enlighten the industry, but also to enlighten the cadets on their opportunities and the possibilities in the industry, right? This is the best industry in the world. Of course, I'm very biased, but there are so many opportunities, and we should give that opportunity to everybody based on their interests and their kind of what they want to do with their lives. So the Sea Ladies is in the beginning. We started that in 2017, and we have moved it slowly forward. This is driven by the cadets themselves and the cadet program, with no interference from me. They are the ones deciding and designing and moving this. And then, of course, when this has been, it has been a success in-house already, and we want to take it a step further. But we also we are in a cooperation with the NSA in Norway, with some of the ship owners, and we want to have the synergies between them, so we can take the best of all worlds. How this will end, I'm not sure, but if we can kind of lay some ground for the women to come into the industry, we will definitely do that. And I am happy to see that they are working on it very hard. So I think there will be a few initiatives coming from their side quite soon.
Thanks for empowering women and infusing more talent on a global manning. Second, please update us on the Norwegian Training Testing and Quarantine Center.
Yeah, that was something we did on the side because our members, well, it has been a big challenge for all the companies. I don't have to go into that. Everybody knows that moving seafarers around the world has been a nightmare. The seafarers have been suffering badly on all the quarantine restrictions around the world. But we started a quarantine and testing center at Marriott Manila, where we just built up a structure with strict compliance with rules. We had it certified, and we had good partners. So we actually managed to run that center until the end of the year, this year, with absolutely no positive cases coming out of the hotel when they were leaving for work. So that was a great success and a great cooperation with our members. We were thinking of prolonging it, but when we saw when we coming to October, November last year, we saw that it was a downward trend before the Omicron came, and we decided that this is not our bread and butter. It was just offer for our members and others, so we decided to close it down. But it was a great success, and we really appreciate the effort from everybody involved.
Captain Joe, I understand you're also the Vice President of the Norway Business Council.
No, sorry. I was back in the days, but not anymore. So that I cannot take that role. But we have strong connections with the Norwegian PNBC, Philippine Norwegian Business Council, and my former MD Alan Grimstad. He was in charge of the Maritime Committee there. So I think when we are getting back together, and there might be involvement from NTC on that as well. But we have very strong ties with PNBC.
Anyway, Captain Joe, let's talk about EMSA. What are your thoughts on the pivotal EMSA negotiations?
Well, you know that we are not a part of EU, so we are getting our intel from being an observant, and also we have had Per-Arne Valøen sitting at Marina working closely with the administration, which has given us quite a lot of very good information. We don't have any kind of political view on it at all. The only thing we are concerned about is how we can help the Philippines in achieving their goals. I've seen the Vice Admiral and I've seen the interviews with Dito Borromeo and that makes me really reassured that the Philippines will manage this. It has been ongoing for so many years, and it made so much uncertainties for so many parties, right? But I like the strong, firm commitment that the government is giving and I'm pretty sure that this will be resolved. There might come some reactions from the European Union, but we don't know. We have heard it so many times before. What I do know is that the system here in the Philippines, you have a very good system when it comes to educating Filipino seafarers. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had so many Filipino seafarers sailing around the world. So we have to look at it from a positive angle, but we also have to be prepared if something goes wrong. But I don't have any doubts that this will be solved from the government side, and we are here to support in any way we can. So I'm having good hope for the future.
And you have the most outstanding program of the Association of Ship Owners Training and Education Project through the NSA Philippines Cadet Program. Do you see the Norwegian ship owners risking the hiring of Filipino seafarers? Will Norwegian ship owners continue investing in our cadetship programs, given that NTCM provide competent seafarers through excellent trainings?
Absolutely. Well, you know, we are very proud of our program, and we know it's working. We have educated more than, well, close to 6,000 seafarers. We're giving free education over the years.
And it's running for more than 30 years, right, Captain?
It has been running for more than 30 years, and that is the foundation. That we are a foundation, right? Norwegian Maritime Foundation of the Philippines, and the cadet program is what we're here for, really. The training came after, and we have built on training, but the cadet program is something that we are so proud of, and we of course we think we are the best, but we know there are many other good programs as well. But the commitment from the Norwegian Ship Owners Association is to continue, and that is something we are not changing. I don't know if you know, but over the years that we have been looking at other countries as well, based on what our members are asking us to do, right? So we're always looking into how we can serve the members at the best in the best way. But that doesn't mean that we won't be here. We're always here, and we're going to be here as long as we are allowed to be here. We will be here.
So how many partner schools do you have now for the NSA Philippines cadet program?
Currently, we have narrowed it down to 2. We have UCLM in Cebu, and we have DCSB in Davao. Those are the 2 ones we are cooperating with now. But we are always looking for new partners. That's part of our mandate from the board, to look for new partners and how we can develop the program. But we are very happy with the 2 cooperating affiliated schools we have now. The results we are getting is excellent, and they are very open for our new initiatives, and it makes it a bit, especially now during the pandemic, it has been easier for us to only have 2, right? We used to have 4, but we haven't closed any doors to anybody, and we are constantly looking into how we can improve it. Our goal is to deliver highly qualified, the best junior officers in the world, actually. We are not educating second officers or third engineers. We are educating captains and chief engineers. That's what we're doing. If they don't want to have that dream, they shouldn't be in the program, and we are very clear on that. How this is going to be done in the future now, the new post-pandemic, is something we are negotiating and talking with the schools. Again, as I said, the biggest challenge we have now is actually internet connectivity, and we have spent a lot on loads on telephones and trying to run trainings and face-to-face, distant learning and all that. And we have succeeded, but it has taken a lot of effort and resources from the cadet program.
And in 30 years or more than 30 years, how many cadets were admitted to the NSA program? And how about today?
We have, over the years, we have had admitted more than 7,500, I think it is. And we have graduated close to 6,000, successfully graduated, going out sailing. And per today, we have 860, 70 enrolled in the program. Now we have a bit of a challenge. We had to postpone the deployment of the second year. We are running a 2-1-1 program, meaning that they are 2 years at school in the dormitory. And then we have a 18 months time gap where they can complete the 12 months sailing time. And then they are going back to school for the 4th year and graduation. So, you know, during the pandemic, we have had the challenges to complete the laboratory activities and, of course, the simulator training and all that. So there is a backlog we need to fill. But I am positive that we will get the cadets out sailing again, maybe in June, if Chad and Marina allows us to do the limited face-to-face, which we are now in the process of starting.
Mm-hmm. And with that data, it is also interesting to note that more than 20,000 seafarers or Filipino seafarers are on board Norwegian flag vessels, right?
Absolutely, and I think the history of Filipino seafarers and Norwegian seafarers, that is quite interesting as well, because you know that there has been Filipino seafarers on board Norwegian vessels since long before the First World War, actually. And cultural-wise and working together has never been any challenge or problem for Norwegians and Filipinos. We like each other. We have a good working relationship, and we also seem to find ways to be together when we're not working. So it has been a success for us, and I'm not afraid to say that I think that Filipino seafarers are among the best in the world. They've always been. I've sailed with them and never had any problems. Very good seafarers.
But Captain Joe, any set response or prediction you see should EMSA do recognize the Philippines?
It's a very difficult topic, this, because if you look at the world as a whole, and you see how many seafarers the Philippines have been producing over the years, I think there might be other countries in the world that has a standard that can be discussed if you compare it to the Philippines. For us, MTC has always been a part of, if there are seafarers lacking training or knowledge in certain fields, that's what MTC is all about, filling the gap, right? But that goes around all over the world. It's the same in Norway. When I had training in Norway, it was to fill the gaps that I had, lack of lapses, right? So for me, it's more about, I think it's a political thing, and we are not into the politics of it. We cheer for the Filipino seafarers, we cheer for the Philippines, and we are here to help. That's what we're here for.
Captain Joe, any other concerns you wish to highlight, please?
Well, if you talk about concerns, I think I have voiced my concern about the internet, of course, and that is something that will need to be addressed. And I know it's addressed already. I wish it could be dealt with a bit quicker, of course. The other things I see is that we need to make seafaring more interesting for the coming generations. I see that there are, due to the I would say healthy economy in the Philippines, but at least before the pandemic, there are many jobs that the young people want to take onshore instead of going for seafaring, right? So we need to, my concern is that how can we make seafaring attractive for the younger generation, right? Because we see that quite a lot of them are not interested in being on board for so long. There might be things with activities on board, and seafaring is a very stressful environment. You don't have time to relax as you did before, so it's into port, out of port. It's always something happening, right? So we need to make sure that we are giving the younger seafarers a better life, I think. Focus on the mental health, of course, which everybody is doing today, which is good. And I also see a bit of concern when it comes to how they are manning vessels to meet the requirements today. But these are things that are already addressed, and I'm sure that the industry will find ways to deal with it. But as I said earlier, we can do a lot of things on the digital platforms, but it's all about the people. If you don't treat people right, if you don't make people feel good about themselves, they will never be able to do a job. And shipping will have people involved for the rest of my life and for many lives to come, right? So we can't allow ourselves to forget that people are the most important thing we have, and to treat them right.
Thank you so much, Captain Joe, for sharing with us your time and thoughts.
Thank you so much, Lynn. It was a pleasure.
Captain EVEN TOMREN, Managing Director, Norwegian Training Center or NTC Manila. Thank you for watching Maritime Viewpoints. Stay on board. Subscribe to Marino World Online for more meaningful maritime news and views. Any chance to win GCash loads.
Challenge to communicate
Recognize
yes,